And this fall when you do the limited release, is that set up in a way that an artist can record something, upload it to your platform, and then it does the analysis and then provides feedback back to the artist?
Yeah, so exactly. So basically, an artist just comes onto the page. It's through invite only, but you can join our wait list at Dopr.com. And so you can join the wait list and you upload music. You link to your artist account. You sign up, link your email. You say link to my band's name right now is Nakama. So I can link to Nakama, pulls it up, says, okay, we will automatically analyze like 30 of your released songs that have previously been posted for you as the artist. And then you can upload new music that's been unreleased. So I could upload, let's say, a new song that I'm thinking about releasing. I could upload 5 versions of the same song that I like are slightly different, and I want to get some insights maybe over which version is the best. I could upload a couple versions of different mixes of songs because, maybe I decided to boost like the bass or the low end on one mix, and I want to see if that's going to help my Dopr score or streaming projections. So all kinds of different, ways to use that. Yeah, it's basically just uploaded, then you're in our platform, and you can see basically all your stats for your entire library, which is your released and unreleased tracks combined. You can see your stats for just your released and unreleased tracks, and then you can go deep into like a song level analysis. So that's like the closed beta is just like kind of like very much focused on the platform, getting feedback from users. What do I like? What do I not? What don't I like about this? Making those tweaks. As we scale this next year, 100 users, very closed. We'll probably start even with like 25. And that's scheduled to start at the end of September with our like first. We have like Rob Abelo is our third co-founder. I mentioned Scott Miles, my research co-founder. Rob Abelo is our third co-founder, and he is the music industry guru. Him and I go back to first grade. We've known each other for 30 years. We've stayed in touch all that time. We lived together for a few years in Philadelphia, and he moved out to LA 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, to start a record label and management company called Roll Call Records. He moved back to the area about 6 months ago, which has been awesome. So his family's from here. But anyway, he joined the team and he took our research and kind of this data that we were able to generate and said, I'm working with independent creators every day. I'm getting like, I'm a small record label in LA. I'm getting like hundreds and hundreds of emails from different creators who like just want like any, not even to be signed, but like they want any kind of feedback about like, is this good? Is this the direction? What could I be doing better? And like that demand, as he really educated the team, I think more than anyone, about this rise of like, and it's happening all over the world in like the creator economy, right? And the rise of the middle class of musicians and independent artists. I think earlier in the podcast, maybe it said like, I think we were talking about how a lot of the larger labels have consolidated. They consolidated a number of other labels within kind of the umbrella of, let's say, a Universal or a Sony. Well, there's also outside of those major labels, there are thousands of independent record labels around the world who are not associated with them. And there's and there's like even more creators. There's like 25 million creators on SoundCloud. There's projected to be 50 million creators on Spotify by the year 2025. And like the data that we're pumping into the platform and types of features that we're developing are trying to really hit the needs of all those creators out there who are trying to like fight against the stiff competition and like the demands of the music industry to not just be a creative and not just to be artistic, but to actually have the business savvy in terms of like marketing and putting together a budget. And like generally the average musician, the average creator who's passionate as hell about their music and is working every day so deeply on making the best song, the reality is most of those people don't have the tools, resources to like push that music out into the world in a way that's even going to touch an audience. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's important here is really delivering something, the data in a way that can help with those decisions along the journey.
Well, the thing that's interesting in the mindset of an angel investor is very different because angel investors, they need to think about, will this work? They really need to think about what if this works or what will it look like when this works. So it'll be really interesting as I'm listening to you talk about this. You now have Dopr scores and you have independent artists that are trying, they're just trying for their chance. do you see there be a day, or do you hope that the day will then arrive where someone can say, hey, we've got a Dopr score of X, we're now going to enter this NFT market where bands can then start raising money, from a NFT standpoint in order for them to get to where they need to go to fund the album, fund the tour, or that kind of thing. I mean, that's to me, that's where it would be really, really cool to see that in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, you nail it, Tim. Like to me, being deciding what song or what content is going to be in an NFT, or that's one of many. It's just a decision about the music, right? It's a content selection decision, and that was one of the things when we did our pilots with Universal. Now our advisor, who was then the former senior vice president of innovation, Tuhin Roy, over at Universal, and he mentioned was like it's about seeing what this could be. And he's like, I go through thousands of songs and thousands of artists here, and like who we're going to sign and what songs we're going to push. And like I could imagine this just being like a Dopr score, like a staple on a white sheet or a one sheet
Right?
about a song, and it's just like, okay, like pop indie 86 Dopr score, like, and comparing it in that way. And like Dopr charts is something that we talked about. Is like the idea of having Dopr be maybe not just a place of for feedback and music decisions for the creators and their team, but maybe that information one day is also valuable to people who are making decisions around like artist discovery and song selection and A&R decisions. While that's
the
not
Rotten Tomato aspect of it, I mean, is what I'm hearing.
Right.
And there's that score there. You mentioned other